Council meeting. Before Mayor Parker calls the meeting to order, we ask that you please silence all electronic devices. For those of you who have requested to speak, there are two podiums in the chamber. The podium in the back is for individuals with mobility concerns. We ask all other speakers to step forward to the front podium. Each podium has a countdown clock located to the speaker's right that will indicate how much time is remaining. A bell will sound when you have 30 seconds left. Speakers registered on the consent agenda items will be taken following announcements of any items being pulled from the consent agenda. Speakers registered on non-consent items other than public hearings and zoning cases will be taken following council announcements. Each speaker will be given 3 minutes to speak on all items within those blocks. Before you begin your comments, please state your name and thank you.
Good morning and welcome to your Fort Worth City Council meeting. Today is Tuesday, March 26th, and a special welcome to Aledo ISD and our 6th, 7th, and 8th grader student ambassadors who are with us today. It's wonderful to have you in the audience. You should also give a special thanks to Mayor Pro Tem Gina Bivens, who's done an excellent job really talking about how important these day meetings are for our students. And we'll kick things off and let Jeanette get us started. Thank you.
Today's invocation will be by Pastor Michael G. from the Sweet Home Church of God in Christ. Please rise for the invocation and remain standing for the pledges of allegiance.
Let us pray. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Eternal and most gracious God, we are thankful, grateful, and blessed for the doors of opportunity. The world know our motto by the way we live. Our way of life reflects our philosophy of life. Choices and decisions we make daily not only impact our lives, those around us, and those who serve us. We know the past can teach us, the present can test us, and the future can reward us. Today, God, we pray for the city of Fort Worth, our mayor, our leader, Maddie Parker, city officials, department leaders, and all of the citizens of Fort Worth. In these uncertain and perilous times, we pray for direction of hope, wisdom to make a difference, love and passion for all mankind, peace and serenity, faith for today and tomorrow, moving beyond limit, building to reach, reaching to change, changing to impact is what the city of Fort Worth does. Amen.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Mayor and Council, our first items will be special presentations, with the first one being a presentation of proclamation for National Community Development Week.
Give me just a second. I'll join at the bottom microphone. Good morning, and as I present the proclamation on National Community Development Week, let me ask Ebony Rose, our Community Development Council Chair, any other members that may be present, and of course our City of Fort Worth Neighborhood Services staff led by Victor Turner, our Neighborhood Services Director, and anyone else from his team that's here. I saw Ebony walk in, maybe not.
The vice chair's here.
Okay, Dan Villegas, where's Dan? I didn't see. Hi Dan, you're hiding. How are you? Good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
Come on down. Don't be shy. For our students that are here, this is our neighborhood services staff who do amazing work behind the scenes, and so today is a great day for the council to recognize their hard work and collaborative spirit across the city of Fort Worth. The purpose is to recognize the efforts of our city in identifying housing needs and addressing them, and by fostering intergovernmental relationships and partnering with local nonprofits and developers while maintaining compliance with federal regulations, which is not easy, and to administer our CDBG and home fund programs. I'll read the proclamation, and any council member, of course, you're welcome to come down, and many of you I know work very closely with neighborhood services staff on a frequent basis. Whereas April 1st to the 5th, 2024 has been designated as National Community Development Week to celebrate the Community Development Block Grant, CDBG program, and the Home Investment Partnerships HOME program. And whereas the CDBG grant program is celebrating its 50th year anniversary of providing annual funding to local communities for safe and affordable housing, economic opportunities, and public services to low and moderate income people. And whereas the City of Fort Worth has received over $332 million from the CDBG program since 1975, supporting community development projects and activities, and $95 million from the HOME program since 1992, supporting the development of sustainable and affordable housing benefiting low and moderate income individuals and households, including older adults, children, people with disabilities, and those experiencing chronic or frequent homelessness. And whereas the City of Fort Worth has strategically identified housing needs and has addressed them by fostering intergovernmental relationships and partnering with local nonprofits and developers while maintaining compliance with federal regulations to administer the CDBG and HOME programs. And now, therefore, the City of Fort Worth does hereby recognize and proclaim the week of April 1st through 5th, 2024 as National Community Develop Week.
Thank you, Mayor and members of the council, for this proclamation. This is a wonderful opportunity to celebrate National Community Development Week here in Fort Worth. On behalf of myself and my colleagues on the Community Development Council, we're honored to accept this proclamation, and it's great to recognize the hard work that our amazing staff does, as well as the partner agencies that we provide funding to that do all the hard, deliver the services that are needed in our community. So we thank you for this recognition.
And thank you, Dan, for your service. To my council members, if you'd like to add anything, you're welcome to. Each of you have really momentous projects that you've worked on individually and over the course of council history. I know, Councilmember Bivens, I'm shocked you haven't already shouted Stop 6 at this point. But we're very proud of the collaborative spirit of this group of people. Most importantly, they're nice, and they really work hard at their jobs, and they work at all hours to make sure those that don't have as many resources in the community are well represented in the City of Fort Worth. So as your mayor, I just wanted to say thank you. I know your job sometimes can be thankless and long hours, and Victor is just a really difficult boss, I know, you know. But we're so proud of the work that you're doing across the City of Fort Worth, and it's important to us to recognize our city employees whenever possible, and that's really what today is all about, so thank you. I think we'll take a picture at this point. Sound good? Face this way. Put that in here.
Next will be a presentation for the American Red Cross Month.
I think we have several friends from American Red Cross. They'd like to come down and join me as well. Victor, I have your Post-it note. Do you need this back? Are you sure? Okay. Good morning. How are you doing? Good morning. Nice to see you, David. Pleasure. Absolutely. Hi, how are you? Good to see you. Okay, perfect. So today is another great celebration of incredible people in our community to recognize the compassion of people across the nation and celebrating their commitment to care for one another in times of crisis, particularly the kind-hearted volunteers in Fort Worth and throughout the Red Cross DFW Metro West chapter, who always step up and provide a beacon of hope for our neighbors here in North Texas. I think it's worth noting that oftentimes we interact with these heroes behind us when things are difficult, whether it's a natural disaster they've been asked to respond to or others. And our hearts go out to the people of Baltimore right now, because I can promise your colleagues in Baltimore are probably there on the ground to help those that are in need. Whereas since 1911, the American Red Cross has been serving communities in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, kind-hearted volunteers in Fort Worth and throughout the Red Cross DFW Metro West chapter step up and provide a beacon of hope for our neighbors here in North Texas. And whereas last year, the DFW Metro West chapter assisted 666 families while responding to more than 425 disasters to deliver food, shelter, and comfort. Whereas 504 blood drives were held by Red Cross blood hosts in 2023, collecting more than 11,000 units of blood across multiple counties to ensure new moms, cancer patients, and accident victims had access to safe, life-saving blood. And whereas in 2023, the Red Cross proudly supported more than 2,300 North Texan military members, veterans and their families, and caregivers to cope with the challenges of service. And whereas 1,472 North Texas Red Cross volunteers, the lifeblood of the Red Cross, responded to the call to provide relief to families who experienced the worst days of their lives. And whereas 18,703 people were enrolled in Red Cross First Aid, CPR, and AED training courses, helping to make the DFW Metro West chapter more resilient in the event of a disaster. Whereas every March since 1943, the American Red Cross recognizes the compassion of people across the nation and celebrates their commitment to care for one another in times of crisis. The City of Fort Worth is proud to join the American Red Cross DFW Metro West chapter in celebrating the service displayed by over 3.5 million staff and volunteers in the DFW area. We encourage all citizens of Fort Worth to reach out and support its humanitarian mission. Now, therefore, the City of Fort Worth does hereby recognize and proclaim the month of March 2024 as American Red Cross Month. And Kathleen, if anybody would like to speak, please do.
Thank you so much, Mayor Parker and distinguished City Council members. My name is Kathleen Hicks, and I'm honored to be a board member of the Red Cross. We are honored to partner with you, the Fort Worth Fire Department, and all city employees and agencies to help make Fort Worth communities safer, healthier, and more resilient. In 2023, we helped more than 700 Fort Worth residents recover from more than 135 disaster events, including 125 home fires. Since the start of this year, we have already served more than 60 households and 215 individuals in Fort Worth who have experienced the worst days of their lives. Our tireless volunteers, many of whom call Fort Worth home, answer the call to help those in need every single day. As we celebrate Red Cross Month, we thank them and all those who help us by volunteering their time, donating blood, and making financial gifts. We encourage everyone to get involved and help us prevent and alleviate human suffering in the face of emergencies. Thank you so much. Of course, thank you.
Mayor and Council, next I think we have a correction on the consent agenda that will be read into the record.
Thank you. This is for M&C 24-0243. It's authorizing an execution of Amendment 1 to an advance funding agreement with the Texas Department of Transportation. We're amending the title to adopt an appropriation ordinance and amend the fiscal years 2024 through 2028 capital improvement program.
Mayor and Council, I believe with that correction, we have no other items being withdrawn or continued by staff.
No items to be continued or withdrawn.
With that, Mayor and Council, we can approve the consent agenda as amended?
I think we have one speaker on the consent agenda, correct?
Yes, correct, sorry.
No worries. Adrian Smith, is Adrian here? Okay.
Adrian Smith. I am one with the people. Before I began, I would just, those amounts that are displayed for the viewing audience on this morning. The top amount is the consent amount that they're going to vote on this morning without any type of discussion, plus or minus. The bottom amount is last week's amount. So just want to keep the taxpayers in the loop as to what's going on here in the city as it relates to our tax dollars. Okay. So I have several MMCs I'm going to speak on, but you all don't have this information before you, but I'll be brief. So MMC 24-0238, for those who have documentation, this is basically something that I agree with. This is just to give some more cushion to social programs that we have here in the city. The United Way is the umbrella for all of these various entities, and they are receiving $199,500 for funding for the various programs that go about to assist and help people in various crises, this, that, or the other. So I'm for this. You know, this is tax dollars well spent. So kudos, kudos, kudos. Now, to the other business that I'm trying to get better at is the wasteful spending that I feel we have. I have several items here. I can address all of them, but I'll be brief. This first one is 0235. This deals with consulting as it relates to, it says new water department customer information, et cetera, et cetera. This amount is $1,200,000, and it has a 5-year renewal rate at the same amount. Again, it says consulting. My thing is, what kind of consulting we need to have as it relates to our water service customers, you know, as it relates to our water service customers. This is a big amount of money. And with the renewals, it balloons even greater. So, Freeze and Nichols, MMC 0246. Now, this says authorization, execution of professional service agreement with Freeze and Nichols. Freeze and Nichols Incorporation in the amount of $300,000 with one renewal option in the amount up to $300,000 for program prioritization assignments. Now, Freeze and Nichols, the reason why I'm saying their names so freely, because Freeze and Nichols contributed to some of you all's campaigns. And I do think that goes against the ethics of how we do things in this city. Now, I don't have the information before me, but I did go through you all's campaign finances, and I did see Freeze and Nichols on the last election. So when I find that information, I'm going to present it to the public, and we're going to talk more about it. Those were my consent items, you all. I had one more item to speak on. See you all shortly. Thank you.
Councilmember Larsdorf.
So since we have so many students in the room, I just want to take a moment, since this is an educational experience for you all, so you know, yes, you will see us make some decisions today. Just know that we also have what we call a work session that we all take part in, and the public is also invited to that. Unfortunately, a lot of folks from the public don't show up to those. Perhaps they watch them from home. I'm not sure. Either way, that's where we get to discuss and talk to staff, get full reports on these things that we're about to vote on. We ask all of our questions in, we discuss it, and then throughout the weeks leading up until today, we get to go back to staff one-on-one, have meetings, and figure out if this is the best way forward. If it's not, we ask city staff to withdraw it from the agenda so we can discuss it further, figure out if it's the best way, and make sure we communicate with stakeholders. So just so you all are aware, that's how that process works with a work session. You're always free to come out to those too if you ever want to spend a few hours out there with us listening to us go back and forth. So thank you.
Special thanks to my Marine friend here. To the students, when we talked this morning about the agenda, I think Michelle let you know where you could find the agenda online. I know she did. If you look at the agenda, all you have to do is click on a link, and you will have all the questions, all the answers, all the information that you need. You don't have to come into this session blind or ignorant or uninformed, because we are fully transparent with those items. Again, I was so glad to see you all this morning. I can't wait to see what you do in the future, and I want to see you back. Thank you, Mayor.
Move for approval.
Second.
Council, please vote.
Next will be announcements by the city council members.
Start with Councilmember Flores.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, everyone. So get the slideshow up, please. All right. I should have been sleeping then, but around between 12 a.m. and 4 a.m., I joined some TPW engineers, Greg Robbins and Kristen Cardona. We're overseeing a bridge pour on East Long Avenue. So that's important infrastructure. We waited for our textile partners to do an inspection of the bridge. It was determined that the deck needed to be replaced. So I got to play engineer again. So that was a lot of fun. Appreciation to them. Next slide, please. All right, the District 2 team recently visited Diamond Hill Elementary School for Career Day. This is one of, I think, the more fun aspects of my job. Really getting to talk to the kids and hearing them, and they had some really insightful questions. So community engagement was there, the fire department was there, the U.S. Army was there. Sorry, Charlie, I didn't see any Marines. Let's see, Fort Worth Police Department was there, Tarrant County College was there. Several others were also talking to the students. So thanks to our hardworking teachers and appreciating the school counselor, Nita Escobar. Next slide, please. All right, on the music front, joined Visit Fort Worth, Tom Martins, to welcome and recognize Cody Jinks. He's, well, I think he's already there, but he's an up-and-coming country music star. He has risen to the top. He has 4 billion, I think, on several platforms, and he was recognized by myself and Mayor Parker. We signed a certificate of recognition for him. And Chief Records, thank you for hosting that event. The line was wrapping around the building to get signatures for him, so appreciate that, and good luck, Cody. Next slide, please. All right, several of the council members were there to kick off the wall raising for our dear Opal Lee. And so we converged on the spot where Opal Lee's house would be, and we raised that wall in conjunction with Trinity Habitat for Humanity. So good for her. You know, she suffered a lot in her life. She's done a lot for our city and continues to do that. And now she's national news, but at the end of the day, she's our, you know, cherished daughter. Thank you. Next slide, please. All right, the Marine Creek Trail Extension. This is something that the Parks Department has been working on for some time in conjunction with the TCU College of Nursing students and Eagle Mountain Saginaw ISD. So it finally came to fruition, and we all met there, walked the trails, a bit chilly, but it was great, well attended, and it's wonderful to see how these trails are not just gonna physically connect, you know, our schools or communities, but are also going to have a really good health benefit aspect to the folks that walk it there. So again, thanks and appreciation to Dr. Sharon Cancelini of TCU College of Nursing, Dr. Jim Chadwell, Eagle Mountain Saginaw ISD, and our own Fort Worth Parks and Recreation Department. Next slide, please. That same morning, had the opportunity to speak to Boy Scouts of America, the Longhorn Council members. They were having their Citizenship and the Community Merit Badge meetings there, and this is an annual Longhorn Council Merit Badge College held once a year. So they learned about things that pertain to our environment, homeless issues, and they wanted to know how they can help. And I found that extremely helpful in that sense that they care enough about our city to want to do something about it. So we're going to connect them to some resources, so appreciate them. Next slide, please. The Fort Worth Police Department, Northwest Division, had their spring carnival, the Diamond Hill Community Center, and brought out all the community, had several sponsors there, several city departments as well. So thanks to all who participated, made that happy. Special kudos to Doc Kent for getting it organized. Next slide. An excellent staff at North Tri-Ethnic Community Center had their Easter extravaganza celebration over the weekend. So several departments, again, from the city helped local schools, and appreciate the staff there for always doing their utmost for the community. Next slide, please. All right, yesterday, Mayor Parker, myself, attended the inaugural open house for the Fort Worth Stockyards, Inc. launch. And that's very important and a next logical step for the evolution of development and redevelopment in the stockyards. So we kicked off a nonprofit 501c4, very similar to Downtown Inc. and Near Southside Inc. And curiously enough, we have Paul Payne, who was the former president of Near Southside Inc., helping us out with this launch. And so it's very well received. Thank you, Mayor, for being there. And we look forward to a lot of activity in the stockyards going through the Fort Worth Stockyards Inc. All right, and then have one announcement. There's an open house on the Panther Island project. There are going to be some strategic final reports that are going to be shared. This will be Thursday, March 28th from 4 to 6 p.m. at the Rose Marine Theater there at 1440 North Main Street. Please share who others who are interested or want to know more about this project. The consultant team and city staff will be on hand to answer questions as well. And that's all I have.
Now to Councilmember Larsdorf.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Next slide, please. Just a quick update on Scarlett. She was our Park Glen Elementary student who was unfortunately hit in a crosswalk after leaving an after-school program. And unfortunately, the crossing guards had already left by that point since it was after hours. She had returned to school last week to a rowdy school who all welcomed her back with open arms, so that was great. But a huge shout out to Fort Worth Police Department MPO Derek Simpson, who has been staying in constant contact with the family just to see if there's anything else they need or anything they can do, going above and beyond, as always, with our NPOs. And also a special shout out to Lauren Prier and her team at TPW. They sprang into action immediately after this, and they were able to, freshen some striping, make some other improvements, and then they're wrapping up some, some studies on the long-term fixes in that area. And back before I took the position, when Alan was there, he did the same thing. So it's constantly a state of improving things in Fort Worth. And something I have to remind folks of often is we live here too, our city staff lives here too, their parents too. Your concerns are our concerns. These things we take very serious, and whenever we see quick action like Lauren's and her team, makes me super proud of the city I live in and the city I get to represent, and then seeing what our fire department, our MedStar, and our police department, what they do on a continual basis as well. Next slide. Warrant forgiveness update. We finally locked in our location for the North Park YMCA on April 20th from 9 to noon. You don't necessarily have to be a resident of District 4, wherever you're at. If you have any outstanding warrants and you want to get that gray cloud removed from over your head, please come out, get some information online on how to do that and get that taken care of. And that was it for the slides, but a special thanks to my colleague, Mayor Pro Tem Bivens, for getting so many fresh faces out there. I've said it a million times, you are the future of Fort Worth. Every decision we try to make sure we're leaving the city in better hands or better shape than how we received it. So you're going to be the future leaders. So, we look forward to you carrying that torch and for us one day so we can retire and just hang out and send you guys emails and talk about our trash not being picked up too. So thank you guys.
Councilmember Williams.
Thank you, Mayor, and well said, my friend Charlie. A couple announcements. First of all, I just wanted to take an opportunity to just thank all the folks who came out this weekend at Lake Como to do a little bit of cleaning up and picking up litter. Although the weather was a bit chilly, we had a great turnout, and everyone came with jackets and hats and gloves, and we're super excited about doing their part to keep Fort Worth beautiful. I also want to just take opportunity to shout out Operation Progress. So many young kiddos came out, and it was just really encouraging to see just their excitement for each other and for our community, for the city, and for doing a little bit of good in that excitement. And they were really excited, not so much about the litter cleanup, but about the Chick-fil-A they got after. So that was also really special to see. Next slide, please. Two announcements. First, I want to invite all of y'all to come out to the Solar Eclipse Watch Party. It's April 8th at 1 p.m. There's several different opportunities for you to engage in this opportunity, including at Vivian J. Lincoln Library next Wednesday, April 3rd from 6 through 7 p.m. and also on Saturday, April 6th. There's a limited supply of eclipse viewing glasses that will be available for free at all Fort Worth Public Library locations, and that's while supplies last. You can also check out park watch parties across the city at your closest community center, including Chisholm Trail Community Center. And don't forget to bring your blanket, your lawn chair, and your family. And don't forget to register to secure your spot. Next slide. I'm also excited to announce that our office will be hosting our annual open house on Friday, April 12th at Vivian J. Lincoln. Doors open at 5:30 p.m. and the program begins at 6 p.m. We'll have different city departments there as well as other community organizations to provide exciting updates and answer any questions that you have related to all the many projects that are happening in District 6. Also, if you have any questions, you can reach out to our office, and don't forget to RSVP so that we know you're coming at district6@fortworthtexas.gov. That concludes my announcements. Thanks, Mayor.
Councilmember Hill?
On March 20th, I had the opportunity to go out to the Kroger store number 530 at Basswood. They had done a complete renovation of the store. It's 100,000 square feet. They employ 180 employees. Met with some of the Kroger leadership that were there and the employees that work there every day. And they also donated $1,000 to the Presbyterian Night Shelter as part of their Zero Hunger, Zero Waste program. Next slide. Dog Days at Fort Worth Botanical Garden, April the 14th from 9 to 12 p.m. There'll be a adoption event as well as animal supply vendors. I hope you can make it. Take home a pet, purchase some supplies, and support our animal shelters.
Councilmember Nettles?
All right, having some mic tech issues. All right, so as Carlos alluded earlier, we had the opportunity to raise the first wall for Dr. Opalee. Many, many years ago, Dr. Opalee lived in a home that was burned down by an angry mob. And they had the opportunity with Trinity of Habitat, History Homemaker came together, and Texas Capital came together to rebuild Dr. Opalee's home again. And so we were as excited that we had other council members there, Councilman Crane, Mayor Parker, Jeanette Martinez, Carlos Flores, here to celebrate this great occasion. Next slide, please. We had the opportunity to be honored at the Renaissance House. The Renaissance House is the old Flint house, the old house of William McDonald, the land of William McDonald, who was the first millionaire here in Fort Worth, in Texas. And so they reopened it as the Renaissance House. And during that renovation, they wanted to show who were the elected officials that was a part of the ribbon cutting on that day in that district. And so you see Mark Vesey, myself, Commissioner Brooks, Nicole Collier, and Wallace Bridges. And the guy that's in the middle is the one who actually did the paintings. Great young man. It was a great opportunity there. Next slide. Well, there it is right there, guys. It is the 5K run with the famous shorts. I mean, they are. Okay, they're not. Okay, we'll try to get shorter next time. I mean, me and Jeanette really ran the last 10 seconds. You can see Michael did run the whole race. He actually got a medal. Stay out of my district, please, winning races. But it was a great time to celebrate Texas Wesleyan. Dr. Messer is doing a phenomenal job. Next slide, please. Evans and Rosedale, for those of you who alluded to canceling the contract and not having a vision, we had opportunity to go back there and have an interest meeting of redevelopment to make sure that plan still moves forward. We're excited about what we're doing over there. Robert and his team met with several developers, and you see, letting them know that the community is first. We will not do nothing without the community's input. So we look forward to what's going to happen at that Evans and Rosedale's development. It's not dead, but it's moving forward. Next slide. All right, tonight at 6 p.m., we will have our community meeting, police oversight community meeting. Don't talk about change, be a part of change. If you have any criticism, please come to this meeting and hear what our office of monitor is doing, hear what our police chief is doing to make changes in the city of Fort Worth to make sure it's a safer and vibrant city. And so we're excited about this meeting. We will have our mediators there. Other department heads will be there to make sure that we discuss how we can make this city of Fort Worth a better place. Next slide. All right, we have a Kidneys Awareness Community Conversation. Celebration. April the 6th is going to be at the Evans Plaza right there. I can't read the address. It's at 1020 East Evans Avenue, but those of you know where Evans Plaza is, right next to the Chambers Library. We will have a big celebration in partnership with Tarrant County and those other partners. I believe those are my last slides.
Councilmember Beck?
Thank you. First of all, happy Women's History Month to everybody. Next slide. Thanks to everyone who came out, my colleague Jeanette Martinez and Chief Noakes to the LGBTQ Police and Fire Luncheon. You can see that our guest speaker that day was our OPM office, and so it was great to have them out there. Next slide. All right, the Cowtown cleanup. I had the opportunity to pick up trash with the Fairmount Trash Pirates. They're always a fun group to hang out with. And then pictured on the right is the winner of our Trashin' Show. So this young lady built this piece out of pop tabs and aluminum cans. So what an amazing artist there, because that level of creativity is something that I certainly do not possess. So
Is a current engineer at Bell, and this was on the side. She found time to do this.
Yeah.
Pretty remarkable.
She
Yes.
said it only took her 30 hours. I think it took her more than that.
Yeah.
And I'm worried about her blood sugar levels with all those pop cabs. So next slide. As a reminder, we are having our grand opening for the Downtown Express Library, the open house for the Downtown Express Library this Friday at 9:30 right here at City Hall. Next slide. Okay, 2 Easter events coming up in the district. We have Fire Station Community Center and the Southwest Community Center. Both are on March 30th at 10 a.m. Next slide. All right, the eclipse is coming. 3 places to watch in District 9. Greenbrier Community Center at 1 p.m., Fire Station Community Center from starting at 12:30 p.m., and then the Southwest Community Center starting at 12 p.m. All of those will be April 8th. Next slide. As a reminder, April 13th, Open Streets is coming back to Magnolia. I hope to see you all there. Next slide. All right, we've got some blood drives happening in District 9. There are 3 places that you can participate on April 17th. So the Waterfield Operations Center on 11th Avenue from 7:30 to 11:30 a.m. City Hall, this building, Old City Hall, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And then Bob Bolin from 8 to 2 p.m. Next slide. All right, last but not least, the Fort Worth Police Department is hosting a friendly competition to design their new recruit vehicle. So all of the medical school students that we see sitting out in the audience and those that are listening online, I encourage you to go to the website and see how you can participate and design your next, our next recruit vehicle. All right, and that's all I got.
Councilmember Blaylock?
So for those of you that care about the quality of air we breathe, please join Mayor and myself in opposing this TCEQ permit for a concrete batch plant located in North Fort Worth. The application number is 174858. You can scan the barcode and register your concerns online, or you can come to a public meeting that will be on Monday, April 15th at 6 p.m. at Timber Creek High School in North Fort Worth. Thank you.
Councilmember Martinez.
I'd like to invite the entire community for our spring District 11 Resource Fair taking place on April 6th, Saturday, April 6th at La Grande Plaza from 12 to 4 p.m. We'll have the city departments and other nonprofit organizations providing information on free or low-cost services and resources. Next slide, please. Scholarship opportunity for high school students or college students. The deadline to apply is April 7th. This is with the Fort Worth Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And the only qualifications are that they are Tarrant County resident and student, and that they are graduating high school senior or college student. Next slide, please. And Mercy Clinic is hosting a community event on Saturday, April 27th at Caps Park. They're looking for vendors. If anybody's interested, please feel free to reach out to them. We'll also be sharing this on social media. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeanette. I believe that's the rest of our council presentations.
That's correct, Mayor. The next will be speakers on the non-consent agenda items, and I believe we have 2.
Thank you. Our first speaker is Bob Willoughby, followed by Adrian Smith.
I guess this is where you cut me down to a minute and a half on each one, where we used to have 3 minutes. Is that right, Mayor? Is this both of these? I got 2 I signed up for.
You have 3 minutes. Hi, Bob.
Both of them.
Time's running. Yes, sir.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
I split them a minute and a half each. If I had 3 of them, I'd only have a minute each. So I'm glad you're taking, I love this free speech, Mr. Crane. It's working well. Okay, let's get this up there real quick. The first one I'm talking about, it doesn't matter because they don't show it on the screen in order. You only got a minute and a half. They don't give you much time or do anything about it. Okay. It won't matter. They probably won't show it at home either. You know, they don't show what I put up here. You know, Mary, what I put up here should be shown on the TV at home equally, and it's not here, okay?
Councilmember
It should be
Crane.
the same.
Yes,
Okay.
go ahead.
What's the point of order? I'm just saying they don't show it at home, okay? I want it shown at home too. Here's what happened. We're getting new machines or whatever. It's not the machines, not so much. It's the people in charge. But here's what happened in District 5. Okay, 2019, we had 4,400 votes around there out of a large district. 2021, we had 5,500 votes, going up because the city's getting bigger. 23, we dropped down to 3,400 votes. Does that not raise a flag up? Something's wrong? Our council member, Gina Bibbins, doesn't care about that, okay? Anyway, it's not the machines. Also, there was a video that came out how the main counting's done. It's run like a country club. It's terrible. When I called Bill Hanning, the Tarrant County's Election Public Information, I was going to ask him about this, and his reply to that video is he's not going to answer any questions, and he hanged up the receiver. Now, that really felt me a lot of confidence, okay? Then the new administrator, because when that video came out about what's going on in our elections, when that video came out, the administrator left, another girl stepped down, but she's back there working again. But nevertheless, it's the people that need to be looked at big time before the machines. Well, I love that. 3 minutes to do all this thing. Okay, the one about the police officer. Well, we have a couple, this is the agenda. Wait, you should see it. You used to be able to see it before Maddie Parker was here, okay? With Betsy Price, this ran a lot better, even though I didn't like her. Okay, under notice of claims, okay, this police officer, whatever happens, his name will only come up under notice of claims, which is in the middle, and that's all you're going to find out. We're not going to know if the officer was suspended or if he was guilty, wrong. Also, I wonder, why is this even for us to speak about? I don't understand that. Can we say no and then you won't give the $150,000 out? I'm really confused about this, and we shouldn't be able to speak about anything we don't know about, but they don't tell us nothing about this stuff. Anyway, look at my website, okay, Mayor? Drawn Heights, you're stopping it from its full boundary with Michelle Gook, and that's wrong.
Our next speaker is Adrian Smith.
So I'm here to kind of echo what Bob was speaking on. MMC 240237, that's in relation to a lawsuit that was they're due to vote on today in relation to police misconduct. So on January 28, 2002, officers were dispatched to a disturbance call. As a result of that call, Taywan Holloway was arrested for the offense of public intoxication and transported to the Fort Worth City Jail. After arriving at the entrance of the city jail, Holloway was removed from the backseat of the patrol car by Officer Miller to escort him inside the jail. While Officer Miller was escorting Holloway, whose hands were handcuffed behind his back, Holloway turned towards Officer Miller, appearing to say something. Officer Miller responded by conducting a takedown maneuver, on Holloway. Consequently, Holloway's head struck the concrete floor, and he lost consciousness and suffered bodily injury as well as emotional distress. So that's how we got here to this particular MMC. The settlement amount is $150,000, which I think it should be more, but I think the city is stuck on $150,000 when it comes to police misconduct. So I would like to encourage the public, if you have any kind of discrepancies or issues with this city as it relates to liabilities, please aim high when you seek to sue the city. To the taxpayers, I'm sorry, but until we have accountability across the board with law enforcement for their bad behavior, not the good officers salute to you, but you bad apples, you ones that continue to be rogue, you're the ones who are costing this city money. So Chief Noakes, get your department under order, sir. And as I take my seat, Mr. Lawsdorf, you highlighted the work session. Sir, even Pinocchio thought he was a real boy.
Point of order, not germane.
So what I say is to say this.
Sustained. Adrian, just stay on topic.
In the work sessions, everything is not covered, you all. Everything is not covered. Everything here is not covered in the work session.
Adrian, do you have anything related to this consent agenda item or non-consent agenda item?
Yes, I would just, yes, ma'am.
Great.
And as I take my seat, Ms. Bivens, the indirect talk, the insults,
Again,
like
yeah,
water on my back.
Adrian, you guys got a few more
Sticks and
seconds.
stones.
Anything related
You know
to
what I'm saying? Sticks
non-consent
and
agenda
stones.
item?
May break my bones, but words never hurt me. Okay, so let the public know, for one thing, I am a native of Fort Worth. I am a veteran of this country. I am a former city council candidate. I am a former mayoral candidate. So I don't just stand here to be
Adrian,
standing here.
Adrian,
Okay, so
Adrian, your mission here is to
I would
address
like
the
to say
council. You got 12
thank you
seconds.
all. Thank you all. We need you all's involvement when we go to this new city hall. We need more accountability. And with that,
Thank you,
I
Adrian.
take my seat.
Okay, thank you so much for being here.
Next will be approval of Resolution 24-4172.
Got a motion and a second, council. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion carries.
Next will be item 24-4175.
Got a motion and a second, council. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion carries.
Next will be MNC 24-0231 with staff report by Stuart Campbell.
Hi, Stuart. How are you?
Good morning, Mayor, council members. My name is Stuart Campbell. I'm with Development Services Department. This item before you now is we're going to conduct a public hearing related to an owner-initiated annexation that will be in future Council District 10. I'll give a brief staff report. We'll take up consideration of action on the MMC, and then the companion zoning case related to this annexation will be heard next on the agenda. So, from a standpoint of this annexation request, this is a 18.49 acre tract of owner-initiated annexation known as Whitaker Tract. This is located in the far north Fort Worth area, more specifically located north of Old Denton Road, west of Elizabethtown Cemetery Road. This property is currently agricultural and vacant. The applicant is going to be requesting zoning as K heavy industrial. The proposed zoning is consistent with the existing land uses in the area. So from a standpoint of, per the Texas Local Government Code, the city is required to conduct this public hearing for this annexation request. And the purpose of the annexation, or the public hearing, is to receive public comments. The notice for this public hearing was originally posted on the city's website on March 13th, 2024. The webpage posting included the public hearing notice, legal description, a draft of the municipal services agreement, fiscal impact analysis, and map exhibit of the annexation area. The notice was published in the Star Telegram on Friday, March 15th, 2024. As a full-purpose annexation, the city will enforce all ordinances and regulations. provide all services as stated in the municipal services agreement. As I mentioned previously, the related zoning case for this is ZC 23-189. This was heard by the Zoning Commission on February 14th, 2024. The commission voted to recommend approval of the requested zoning to the District of K, Heavy Industrial. The related zoning case is also on today's agenda and will be considered as the next agenda item. So what I ask for today is the actions to be taken are closure of the public hearing upon hearing any citizens' comments, take action on the MMC, including the municipal services plan and annexation request, and the following zoning requests on the agenda. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Stuart. Council, any questions to Councilmember Blaylock?
Thank you, Stuart. I don't have any questions. At this time, I'd like to close the public, move to close the public hearing and act on the MNC.
You want a motion and a second, Council? Any other discussion? Please vote. Thank you, Stuart.
Next will be ZC-23-189.
Councilmember Blaylock, I believe this case is yours as well.
So this is the companion case to the annexation we just heard. I'll note that the developer is here today, and I appreciate you coming and being available. I don't have any questions. I will simply move to approve.
Second.
Council, any other discussion? Please vote. Motion carries.
Next will be item MNC 24-0237.
We've got a motion, a second, Council. Any other discussion? Please vote. Motion carries.
Next will be MNC 24-0250.
Councilmember Martinez.
Mayor and council, I move that the City Council adopt the resolution authorizing use of the power of eminent domain to acquire .0172 acres in permanent sewer easement from real property owned by Thomas W. Woodrow, deceased. The property interest is needed for the sanitary sewer rehabilitation contract 118 project, a public use proposed future easement that will repair damaged sewer lines, allow better flow within the sewer pipes, and help prevent sewer backups be on L1, Lot 1457. The property rights in the subject property are needed for the construction, operation, maintenance, replacement, upgrade, and repair of the permanent sewer line facility as needed. The property is located at 3505 Fifth Avenue in the Silver Lake Addition, Block 20, Lot E, Tarrant County, Texas. The property interest to be acquired is described by meets and bounds and depicted by survey exhibits attached to this mayor and council communication.
Got a motion and a second, Council. Any other discussion? Please vote. Motion carries.
Mayor and council, that concludes all of the action items.
Thank you, Council. If you'll indulge me for just a moment, I've got two very important individuals in our community who we lost this week that we're going to close our meeting in order of. The first is to close in honor of Victor Manuel Espino Moreno, who passed away on March 23rd, 2024. Mr. Moreno was born on September 28th, 1947 in Ciudad Juarez, Mexico. Victor lived a life full of love, community service, and faith. He was a devoted family man and passionate advocate for immigrants. His contributions to his community and parish, All Saints Catholic Church, were immeasurable. Victor's love for sports and classic Mexican cinema and his role as a supportive figure in many people's lives defined his essence. He inspired many with his wisdom. Be better today than yesterday, tomorrow better than today. He leaves a legacy through his family, friends, and all fortunate to know him. Victor's spirit and lessons will forever remain in our hearts. Rest in peace to Victor, who will be dearly missed. A special note that his son, Sal Espino, was a longtime council member here in the city of Fort Worth, and our hearts are with Sal and his family. Another very important individual also passed this last week, and today we are closing in honor of Rosalind Gross Rosenthal, who passed away on March 20th, 2024, aged 99 and a half. Roz had a generous spirit and a massive heart for this community, spending decades supporting so many of the institutions that make Fort Worth so very special. Her impact is truly woven into the fabric of this city, and she will be dearly missed by many. There are too many to list here today, but a few of the institutions here in Fort Worth who were made better because of Roz's generosity include the Van Cliburn, Bass Hall, Fort Worth Symphony, Cook Children's, and Bethel Congregation, just to name a few. Our prayers are with her family and the many loved ones as they remember and celebrate her incredible life. Thank you for attending today, and the meeting is closed.